Good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to the first session of structural analysis. So, in this session, this subject is actually very important subject. Previously, it was known as theory of structures. Now, it has been changed to structural analysis. So, what do you mean by structural analysis? Structural analysis is something wherein we have multiple steps in construction, isn't it? So the very first thing is, I write down the name of the subject first. Subject name is structural analysis 1. In this semester you will be studying structural analysis 1, and in another semester you will be studying structural analysis 2. Previously it was TOS 1 and TOS 2. Now it has been changed to SA 1 and SA 2. So, whenever you go for any construction, okay, either you may be constructing a building or dam or any other structure, the very first thing which you will be coming across is a survey, isn't it? You will be first measuring out the distances or measuring out the land or any other area. So, the very first thing which we do is surveying. This is the first step we do in any kind of construction. First is measurement of any area. After that, we will go for another step, that is planning. Next thing is we go for planning of any building or any structure, isn't it? And after that, we will go for the third step, that is after planning, we will go for analysis of structure. Then the fourth one will be your design. So the meaning of this analysis is, you might have heard about so many kinds of diseases, isn't it? There are so many types of diseases, isn't it? Like we have a cardiac problem. Many people will have different types of diseases. Cardiac problem, right? And along with that, we'll be having sugar disease, isn't it? And even many types of diseases are there. But can we see those type of diseases? No, we cannot see that, isn't it? So, but they exist, isn't it? So the same thing happens here in the entire subject, in this entire structural analysis or theory of structures. The thing which we calculate is that which we cannot see, isn't it? So that means we can see the beam, we can see the external forces, but we try to calculate reactions, we try to calculate shear force, and we also try to calculate bending moment in this exclusively in structural analysis. So your reactions and shear force and even bending moment, those things are not visible to us, but they actually exist. In the same way, we can also say this as a diagnosis of a structure. First we diagnose. Before you go to any doctor, they will first give you certain prescription that go for this test, go for sugar test, go for blood test, go for blood pressure test or angioplasty, angiogram. So many tests are there, right? So the same thing will happen here. With the very first thing is after planning, we go for analysis. What are the weak points of structure? What are the strong points of structure? Right? What are the loads acting on the structure? All these things we will analyze, and those forces we cannot see actually. After analyzing the structure, after calculating your shear force, after calculation of bending moment, after calculation of reaction and all those things, after that we will go for this step, that is designing of member. Either we will be designing a beam or any column or slab or foundation, whatever it may be. Designing is nothing but giving the shape and giving out the dimensions of any structure. Like for example, we have beam. So for the beam, we give certain dimensions. Either it may be 230 mm by 300 mm or 230 mm by 450 mm. Those dimensions are actually dependent on this analysis. If you do not do analysis properly, if you are not perfect in analysis, then the entire design will go wrong. If you are perfect in analysis, then this part will go perfectly, isn't it? So these things, this analysis is very important. without analyzing any structure, you cannot directly go for the design. Okay, first we have to do analysis. First we have to diagnose what is the problem, what are the weak points in the structure. As if in the case of your any operation or any kind of hospitals or any doctor, what they will suggest, first they will suggest to go through these certain types of tests. Then only we can figure out what is the problem, right? So the same thing will happen here in analysis. So before that, what we will do, since it is a very lengthy process, like analyzing a multi-story building, right? We have small buildings, so small buildings we can easily design or we can easily analyze with the help of manual calculations. Okay. But if you go for multiple storied buildings, like very big buildings, then we need some kind of technique so that we can easily able to analyze the structures in very few minutes or in few hours. Okay. So for that thing, we need certain methods. We need certain methods, and whatever the things which we are going to study in this subject is actually has been developed long before in 50 years or 60 years back. So what are the methods they have implemented, and now what are the methods which we are actually using? All those steps sequentially, one by one we'll be studying on. Okay, how the methods have been taken to the next level. First, it was a very long, lengthy calculation. In the first unit, we'll be studying about slope deflection method. In that slope deflection method, we have a lengthy calculation, long types of calculations are there. So many equations we will form there. After that, what will happen? In the second unit, in the very next unit, that is second unit, you can observe that in the second unit itself, the entire equations, all those equations will get reduced to a simple table. Then after that, in the third unit, we have, in the second unit, we have moment distribution method. After that, we have Canny's method. So in the Canny's method, again, that table has been shorted down to very small table again. And even that method is also applicable for multi-story, that is G plus 1 or G plus 2 structures. All those things we will see one by step. Now after that, in the second part of this structural analysis 1, that is after these 3 units, we will be studying about moving loads. What do you mean by moving loads? A bridge or a road on which the vehicles will be moving on. Okay, so in that case, what are the reactions? What will happen when the vehicle is at the center? What will happen if the vehicle is exactly at the corner? Or what will happen if multiple vehicles are standing on the bridge? Right? All those things we will be seeing in this structural analysis. After that, we will be having trusses also, and then again we have suspension bridges, influence line diagram. All these things we will be seeing step by step, sequentially. So you will observe that. You will observe in this particular unit that how the calculation part has been changed from basic level, right? Previously in olden days, how the people used to calculate all those things. Then step by step, how the things got changed. Till you study structural analysis 2, that also might be I will be taking in the next semester. So in that semester, you will be learning the new techniques which we follow nowadays. That is, we have StatPro, all these software, you might have heard about StatPro, isn't it? Even StatPro, ANSYS and your ETABS, all these softwares are actually based on these methods. Slope deflection method, moment distribution method, then even we have stiffness matrix method, flexibility matrix method, and after that we have finite element method in that. So those things we will be studying in the essay 2. So initially, step by step, we will be learning all the things. So today, we will try to take up a small topic on shear force and bending moment, which we have already carried out in previous second year. So just a simple thing we will be taking off because the time is also less here. So analysis of the structure is very, very important. Analysis is very, very, very important. Analysis, diagnosing the structure, finding out the weak points of the structure is very, very important. If you do not know how to calculate or how to identify the weak points of the structure, then it will be very difficult to design a structure. Even though if you analyze the structure, but if you do not design it properly, this also is vice versa. Even though if you analyze the structure properly, then you are not able to design the structure properly, then again it is a problem. So these two things are very, very important. If we made any sort of mistakes in these two things, right, planning is also very, very important. So when we make these type of things like analysis and designing, so if you made any kind of mistakes, there will be a loss of life to more than depends on the capacity of the structure, okay, and even for the economic loss as well. So very, very important thing that we have to be very careful in analyzing the structure. You have to pay more concentration. You have to be courteous about the subject also. You have to learn each and everything. That is what is needed. See, if you learn one thing and if you skip one thing, it is not easy to understand. So that thing will create problem in the next semesters. So the thing is, you have to learn those things now itself. Thereby, those difficult things will be helpful for you in the next upcoming problems or in upcoming units. So each and every unit is linked with each other. It is not like first unit is different, second unit is different, third unit is independent, fourth unit is independent. It's not like that. Entire subject, right from engineering mechanics, what we have studied in the previous semester, even engineering mechanics, mechanics of materials, and this structural analysis, the structural analysis too, then design, structural engineering, all those things are actually interlinked with each other. So we have to be very cautious, and we have to be very attentive, and we have to be very active in learning this subject along with your practice. And if you have any kind of doubts, anytime, I will be available. You can text me in the video comment section or wherever it's required. Even many people have my number also. You can text me, you can send me a message also. Sir, I could not able to understand these things, so that we can fix a meeting, Zoom meeting or any other Google meeting, whatever it may be. In those meetings we'll try to clear out your doubts also. Once we will do those things once in a week or twice a week, depending upon the intensity of your doubts or whatever it may be, your reactions, right? Your reaction is very, very important. Like every body has an equal and opposite reaction, isn't it? Yes, we have equal and opposite. Newton's third law of motion, right? Third law of motion is every body has equal and opposite reaction. So I want a reaction from your side also, so that I can spare time for you people as well. Okay. So next thing in this one is, since this is a brief introduction about structural analysis, it's a very, very interesting subject, very, very interesting subject, and it's not like you have to mug up the formulas, you have to by heart those formulas. Nothing you have to do. You just have to go to the examination hall without learning anything. That is the best part of this structure, the best part of this subject. That is, you do not have to learn or by heart anything. That is the best thing. Because if you understand the concept, if you learn the concept, then it will be easy for you to go to the examination hall, or even any type of problem you can solve once you understand the concept. If the concept is clear, then the thing will be easy for us. Okay. So before that, I will try to take few basic things which we have studied in the previous semester also. So we'll go with types of loads. Otherwise, first we'll go with types of beams. Okay. So in this case, we have one type of beam, that is simply supported beam. So this type of beam we have already seen in shear force and bending moment, isn't it? When we have studied shear force and bending moment, we have seen types of beams. How many types of beams are there? We have different types of beams, out of which we have simply supported beam. What is simply supported beam? Simply supported beam is a beam in which the beam rests over two supports. Okay. The beam which rests on two supports is known as your simply supported beam. Alright. Next is, we have one more beam, that is cantilever beam. What is cantilever beam? The beam which is fixed at one end and free at other end is known as your cantilever beam, isn't it? We know this also. Then after that, we have overhanging beam. Overhanging beam. Okay. So what do you mean by overhanging beam? The beam which projects away from the support is known as your overhanging beam. Suppose I have a beam like this, but it is getting projected away from the support. That is, it is the combination of simply supported beam and cantilever beam. See here, this part is simply supported beam and this part is your cantilever, isn't it? It is coming out of the support. So that means it is nothing but combination of two, or else we can say it as overhanging beam. And overhanging beam, we also have one more type of overhanging beam, that is this type of overhanging beam. This is single overhanging, and this one, this entire piece, we can say it as simply double overhanging or overhanging. Now after this one, we have one more type of beam, that is continuous beam. Now what do you mean by continuous beam? Continuous beam is something wherein in the previous cases we have seen only two supports, but here in case of continuous beam we will be having how many supports? Three supports. Like we have multiple columns and we have beams as well along with that. So that is nothing but your continuous beam. And this entire subject is based on statically indeterminate structures. This entire subject, or whatever the problems which we deal in this subject particularly, will be the problems based on statically indeterminate structures. Now what do you mean by statically indeterminate and what do you mean by statically determinate structure? I'll show you now. See here, we have three equilibrium equations. We have seen that is sigma x is equal to 0, sigma y is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0, isn't it? For a 2D frame or 2D structure, these are the three equations we have. With the help of these three equations, we can easily able to calculate our reactions, isn't it? We used to calculate sigma x is equal to 0, sigma y is equal to 0, then sigma m. With the help of these three equations, we used to calculate our reactions. So all these structures 1, 2 and 3, this one 1, 2 and 3, that is simply supported beam, cantilever beam and overhanging beam. These three structures are statically determinate structures. What are those structures? Statically determinate structures. What do you mean by that? The structures which can be the unknowns. These are all unknowns, isn't it? Reactions. These are reactions. So all these reactions we can calculate. If we can calculate these reactions with the help of these three equations, then that structure is said to be statically determinate structure. Okay. If I could not able to solve by using our sigma x, sigma y, sigma m is equal to 0, then this structure, since we have three unknown reactions, so we cannot calculate three unknowns with the help of our equilibrium equations. Okay, sometimes it may have a horizontal reactions. Okay, one horizontal reaction here, one horizontal reaction here. So then how many unknowns are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unknowns. How many equations we have now? We have only 3 equations. If we have 3 equations, 3 unknowns, then there is a chance of calculating some values with the help of these things. But here, since we have more unknowns when compared to our equilibrium equations, then that structure is said to be a statically indeterminate structure. To find out those unknowns with the help of some other equations is nothing but your structural analysis. How to use an alternative method to calculate these unknowns. Okay, we'll see all those things one by one, all these things we'll see. We do not have to worry about those things. Okay, so this is about your structure. This is about the thing which is statically determinate or statically indeterminate. Okay, and along with that, we will try to see, you can copy down this one, structural analysis, then whatever I have written in the previous few minutes before, that is what are the sequences in construction, you can write down there. Then after that you write down types of beams. After that we can go for types of loads. We have seen this also in your mechanics of materials like shear force and bending moment. The very first thing is we will be having a point load. Okay. The next is we have UDL, that is uniformly varying load. Then after that we have UVL, that is uniformly vary. Sorry, this is uniformly distributed load. Distributed load, and this is uniformly varying load. These are the three types of loads which will be coming across in our problems, beams, and along with that we'll be having this one also. Along with that we have different types of frames also, like this. This is how we will be getting frames, and even we get this type of frames. This is G ground floor and this is one first floor. All these things we will be seeing here coming problems. Okay. Then well, let us stop till here, because since the time is not sufficient, we missed a lot of time in your Google Meet and all. So from tomorrow onwards we'll start few problems also, and in the first class I'll try to take the basic component, that is shear force and bending moment for the given figure. We'll solve that one. You have to follow those steps. What are the steps which I am giving you all? Okay. After that we'll go for the first unit, that is slope deflection method. Okay. Thank you.